Yeah, I can't have a donut in the house and not eat it. Let's be honest. So I had to eat it yesterday.
I now have a 2-day-old donut, which has also been in the fridge, and I had a little bite out of it already just to see if it was stale. But as you might be able to hear, it's kind of hard. Welcome back to episode 4, guys. This is the Do's and Donuts of Fitness podcast, and today we're discussing how to balance health and fitness with your social life. So one thing before we get into this podcast we forgot to do last week was actually rate the donut that we were eating. I think we were so engrossed in actually eating the donut that we completely forgot to rate it. So
yeah. Which I literally only noticed about 2 days ago when I listened to the podcast. I thought, hang on a minute, we haven't even rated it. So I'm going to rate it an 8 because I actually really enjoyed it, but wasn't as good as the chocolate-filled one we had.
What did I rate the chocolate one? I felt like I rated that. We need a spreadsheet.
I want to say you rated that.
I'm going to start getting
one.
proper loser levels now. I'm going to get a spreadsheet up of these that we can keep track of this. I think I rated it a 5 or 6. I
want to say you rated it a 6, you know.
I'm going to rate this one probably a 6 as well, because the chocolate one was okay. This one was okay. Yeah, but it is still a bit of a plain, I don't know. It just, a 6. I'll give it a 6.
Okay, I'll go with that. You don't like the filled one, so...
No, and we've got a filled one today, so we'll...
Well, you've got a filled one today. I had my filled one yesterday.
Yeah, so we were meant to record yesterday and Hayley delivered the donuts, so I ended up being really busy yesterday and we just couldn't get to the podcast episode. So she ate her donut.
I can't have a donut in the house and not eat it. Let's be honest. So I had to eat it yesterday.
I now have a 2-day-old donut, which has also been in the fridge, and I had a little bite out of it already just to see if it was stale. But as you might be able to hear, it's kind of hard. If you were just listening to the podcast episode and you heard a knocking, that was me knocking the donut. So now we're already on the subject of donuts. I feel like that kind of segments us. I don't know what I'm saying now. It segments us into how you deal with social life.
Right. So before we get into some suggestions of what you can do and stuff, I just want to say I don't like saying. So when people have asked us to do this topic, they've said how do you deal with? I hate deal with, because social life is so important, especially this year. You're being around friends and family. I've always loved it, but this year it's just so much more important, and I think I've come to appreciate it a lot more just because of how hard this year's been. So deal with, not to be used.
Yeah,
agreed.
I definitely agree. Actually, I guess it's more manage, I guess, than deal with. It's not dealing with. It's because it's a fun, the social life is the fun, is basically fun life. Let's be honest, that's what it is, and it's
an important part of life. So it's not,
and I've been the boring,
manage is better.
I've been the boring person at parties, at barbecues, at nights out, where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to drink, or I'm not going to do this, and most of the time I regret my decision of not doing it. I'm just like, oh, I missed out. The night was fun, and I decided I was going to have a salad instead of a burger, and just because I'm trying to stick to something, and I don't know. So I would say it is good to have some kind of willpower, but don't always be boring. You got to balance the fun stuff in there too.
Yeah, balance is so important. Last summer, I said no to pretty much everything. I'd be like, oh no, I can't go out because I'll put on some weight and blah blah blah. So this summer, no. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was careful. I was I tracked what calories and stuff. So I kind of knew what I was, but I didn't really say no to anything. Like obviously we were in lockdown for a bit, but like when we could start meeting up with people, if they were like, right, let's go out for food, I'd go out for food when we could.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't know what's going on. Lost me on camera again. But I think one of the biggest things I noticed, what's going on? It's all out of focus on me. One of the biggest things I noticed with you was the change in, like, I think when I first met you, you weren't really eating out as much and you were a bit stricter. And then I think like the last 9 months, you've definitely been a bit more chilled out with your food, and you've been going out a fair amount.
Yeah, because it's just so important. I know how strict and like boring I was before. Let's be honest. So I'd rather choose I'd rather get a good balance and choose happiness like a lot of the time. Like I want to spend time with my friends and everything, as long as I'm like still training hard because I enjoy it and stuff. But yeah, I want to go out for food. I want to have some time with friends and family. I think that's very important. More important than looking super shredded, to be honest.
And I think this is definitely a problem that I find more with my female clients than my male ones. And partially I think that's because the female clients generally are a little bit more better behaved anyway. They are like, my male clients are just like, they're more willing to have shitter calories, but just like hit their calorie target. So they don't worry as much. But also the men, pretty much all the guys I train have a way higher calorie target than any of the women. So it's just easier for them to go out and be a bit more like, have a beer and have those extra calories, have a couple of beers, rather than be more careful. They can generally get through the week without restricting themselves too much and still having fun. Whereas definitely I feel like where your calories, especially if you're a smaller woman and you are on a cut, maybe you're trying to diet a little bit, then you are more restricted.
Yeah, 100%. Because let's actually touch on that. Alcohol has super high calories. So if you're going out and let's say you have, I don't know, a couple of bottles of wine, that is loads. There is like, if you have a large glass, there's probably like 200 calories in a large glass. So you've just sunk like two days worth of calories in wine. So like alcohol is super high. So like if you're in a fat loss phase, I'm not saying don't go out, but you probably can't go out every weekend. I know I couldn't, because if I'm in a fat loss phase, because I'm I'm small, my calorie target is a lot lower than some others maybe. So I can't go out every weekend because like I just wouldn't lose weight. So, but if I do go out, I try and pick lower calorie options. So for example, I like gin. So gin and slimline is only 88 calories. So if I go out having 4 gins, which nowadays, if I had 4 gins, I'm probably drunk, probably a bit tipsy. So, what's that? It's under 400 calories.
I think any students listening to this are like, 4 gins. That's just what we have for pre-drinks before we go out. 4 gins, if not more. Whereas you're like, 4 gins, I'll be smashed.
Well, put it this way, I could count on one hand the amount of times I've drunk this year. So if I have at Christmas, if I have 4 gins, probably will do on Christmas Day, I'm gonna be drunk. Mum, I'm gonna be drunk.
Yeah, I think my tolerance for alcohol now is horrendous. It doesn't matter what I drink, even if I drink beer, I'm a few, like 5-6 pints, and I'm battered. I actually have, and it used to be like I've never really been able to. I've always been quite a lightweight, but I would always drink a lot. So compared to my friends, I was a lightweight, but I probably still drink quite a lot. When I was like 20, I was smashing back pint after pint after pint after pint after pint. Do those day sessions where you just absolutely, God knows how many calories I was having, but just absolutely smashing the drinks. And then you're like, if I think from there, there's something between being like 21 to being like, well, I'm 27 now, so the difference of those 6 years, I can't even drink half of what I could drink back then, not even half. But probably a good thing, because I'm worried more about my calories now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh God, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't drink half as much as I used to be able to drink. No way.
So there are some benefits.
Yeah.
As I say,
go on.
there are some benefits to getting older there, like where you're not wanting to go out and get wrecked every weekend, or go out, and you don't even want to go out and drink every weekend, even if you're not getting wrecked. But the amount, like we were saying before, per gram of alcohol, 7 calories. So you compare that to protein or carbs, it's way higher. So if you're going out and having lots of alcohol, you're gonna have a massive increase in calories. So when you're a student, you probably don't care that much. But that's why you will see a lot of people when they're a student, and if you're a student listening to this, you might relate. You will have noticed you might have put on a lot of weight over those freshers weeks, or just over the whole year of going out quite a lot. It definitely has a massive impact. So it's something to just to watch out for, not to completely get rid of.
Yeah, so like it's all about that word balance. So like if you're wanting to lose a bit of weight, I don't know what I'm doing with my hair. I'm
I was just watching.
My neck,
You were
like
creating a beard.
But if you're wanting to lose a bit of weight, just reduce the amount of times you go out. So maybe like instead of every weekend, do like 1 weekend a month. And as well as that'll help you to lose weight, you'll enjoy it more. Saving that like 1 weekend a month instead of 4 weekends a month, you'll have so much more fun because it's not a regular thing. So you'll be like, woo, party. Whereas like if you're going out every weekend, it's like, oh, again, are we going to the same place?
Yeah.
Like there's so many more benefits for just reducing the amount of times you drink.
Yeah, I was going to say that also we could go into detail on this for a long time, but the besides calories, the effect that alcohol has on your body when you're trying to meet a physical goal is just like incredible. Whether it's sleep it affects, or whether it's, obviously we've mentioned calories, but just
training for trying to train, like say you go out on the Saturday, if you're wanting to go to the gym on Monday, there's no way in hell you will be able to perform like to what you need to.
Yeah.
If you're like trying to, let's say like what we were doing, trying to build, get stronger, there's no way in hell if we went out on a Saturday night we'd be able to improve our go up the weight on that next week. If I go out on a weekend, performance levels just completely drop.
Yeah, performance and recovery are the two massive ones, I guess, and sleep obviously comes into that. And performance-wise, you'll definitely notice more progression if you're not drinking. 100%. That's not even debatable. And then the same with recovery. Like you're not going to recover as well if you're feeding your body alcohol. Because obviously alcohol is not good for you, and you're going to have less sleep. You're going to have all these things that help you recover, and also you're getting less. If you're kind of giving yourself an allocation of calories to alcohol, you're obviously taking away that allocation from somewhere else. So whether it's carbs or proteins or healthy fats that could be going in your body instead, those calories are now being taken up by something shit. So there is every time you drink, you are taking something away from somewhere else where you could be making progress. However, mentally, having a couple of drinks with your mates could be a really good thing for you. So again, going back to that word balance that we've probably mentioned 50 times now across the few episodes.
But a good thing that I do with some of my clients is when I do it with all of them. I don't know why I said some. But what if my clients know they're going out on the weekend? Say they've got a party on the Saturday night, they're going out. So what I will try and get them to do is not just one day before reduce by like 500 calories, so that day before, like let's say you're on something stupid like 1,000. What I try and get them to do is a few days before reduce by a smaller amount. So let's say you're going out on a Saturday, maybe on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you can reduce by 200 each day. So you're still having a decent amount on the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, instead of dropping them too low. And then you've got an extra 600 for drinks on the Saturday night. So like, it's all about, if you know, especially if you're in your fat loss phase, try and like get the dates. Obviously you can't plan everything, but as in try and make a note of some dates that you know you'll be doing something, and then you can pre-plan, be like, right, okay, so this week I'll be reducing the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, going out on the Saturday, and then you're back to normal on the Sunday.
So I think that's one of the best things you can do. And then I guess on the flip side of that, if you can't do that, like you were mentioning, sometimes you can't always plan everything. And I'm definitely one of those people that I don't like to plan for a start, and B, I could be easily persuaded to go out for a few beers. So if you are like that, or whatever the scenario is, you can always make up for it afterwards.
100%.
I know I always see a lot of posts on Insta saying, if you've had a bad day, just get back to your normal like routine, and to a lot of degrees that's correct. However, if you're already in, like, if you know your body and you're already well into tracking calories and you understand what you're doing, then there's no harm in the next 6 days reducing your calories by like 100 calories or something very minimal and making up for it after. So if I give you an example, one of my clients, it was his birthday the other week, and obviously we're in lockdown, it was shit. So he was on Zoom with his friends, I think, and family, and then they all got takeaway and had loads of drinks, and they just had like a fun night all night. I think he went over by like 1,700 calories that day, which is obviously madness. But then the next 6 days, he just ate 200 calories under his allowance, which
Perfect.
Wasn't really a big difference. He ended up the end of the week on the perfect calorie amount. Like his calorie target was hit dead on. And I honestly, like, coming from where we started to where he's at now, it wasn't even that much hard work for him. He just knew he had to do that. He did it. He fitted in his meals exactly the same, and just was a little bit more careful. And going over by 1,700 calories on one day is a pretty mad night. So it is quite easy to do.
Night, yeah, so easy. But this is why it's also important. So obviously, like, he did that going over 1,700, and then he spent the next 6 days reducing a little bit, and then he was pretty much back to normal again. But if you're then going out every weekend, well, you're never going to make it up. So like, so this is why it's good. It's like when you're in your fat loss phase, if you do that once a month, that's absolutely fine, because you can make it up, and then you'll be back into a calorie deficit, and you'll keep going. But if you were doing 1,700 every weekend, there's no way that through that week you're going to make it up. So you've just got to find a good balance of everything. You've just got to, like, obviously, when you're in maintenance and you're not trying to lose weight, or if you're in a surplus and you're trying to gain weight, it doesn't matter about going over on your calories as much.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to lose, you've just got to remember that you have got to make a few changes, few changes, and just no going out every weekend, guys.
And I think the other thing people don't appreciate as much as well is that if you're exerting more energy than you're eating, which is how you create a calorie deficit, you've got to understand that your body is not getting enough energy to feed it to like maintain. Therefore, it needs to find that energy from your body. So that's pretty taxing on the body already. So if you're going to add 4 weekends a month of drinking on top of that, a lack of recovery, all of these things, is like, think about how hard your body has to work. Whereas on the flip side, like you mentioned, if you're at maintenance, or if you're in a surplus and you're trying to gain weight or just at least maintain weight, you got to remember the difference between that and fat loss is that your body is at just a very nice, healthy point. It's quite happy just maintaining as it is, and it's chilling. If you want to go and then tax your body by drinking on top of that, it's not as hard for the body as it would be if you're in a calorie deficit. Which is why Christmas time is a good time to be in a maintenance phase, or if you're bulking, then it's even better. But
yeah, the best time, and especially this year, like, I wish, like, I've had clients like, oh, what am I going to do over Christmas? I'm going to just enjoy Christmas. Like, we've had such a rubbish year. There's no way, because I get to go see my family over Christmas, and I'm so excited. But there's no way if my mum says to me, Hales, I've got a mince pie out for you. Do you want it? I'm not saying no, because A, I've seen my mum about 3 times this year. Rubbish. And B, like, just no, because we've had so much stress from other things this year. If my mum offers me a mince pie, I am not saying no. So, like,
exactly.
my advice to everyone, like, for the next few days, just think about.
You looked really sad.
I know, because I get a bit like, when some of my clients are getting a bit stressed, like, it makes me a little bit upset, because I don't want them to be stressing over Christmas. I really want everyone, not just my clients, I want everyone to really enjoy Christmas, because I just know how hard this year's been for everyone.
Yeah.
So, like, I would advise everyone the next few days just to have a think about what, like, how hard your year's been, how far you've come towards your goals, and realize that like a week at Christmas is not going to affect, like, your progress. For, like, 1 week of relaxing and eating some mince pies and turkey and stuffing and stuff is not going to affect all the progress that you've progressed throughout this year. Like, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it definitely won't. And also, this is something we haven't really touched on. Maybe something we need to go into more detail on a future episode. But the benefits of being at maintenance, rather than always being in a deficit, are huge. So it might be a good time for you to reassess your goals and take a little break where the gyms have now reopened. You can smash the gym still. You can try and focus a little bit more on increasing strength and maintaining your body figure or muscle mass, fat percentage. Just trying to not put too much pressure on how you look, and just eat maintenance whilst the gyms are now back open, and whilst it's Christmas time and there's food and there's all these fun things. So give yourself those few extra calories, and just the benefits you'll get mentally will be good. The benefits you'll see in the gym will probably be a lot better than you were getting anyway. So there are some really big benefits to just maintaining.
Yeah, 100%. I was in a calorie deficit for such a long time, and now that I've been at, like, maintenance and well, in a bit, probably a surplus. Like now that I've been doing that, I just feel not only is my body looking 10 times better than it was, like I've put on what I've like. There's still a few improvements I would love to make. Like we were talking the other day, I want like bigger shoulders and stuff. But like my strength and the amount of muscle I've built, so much. Like I feel so much better for it, and mentally, I'm in such a better place than I was last year. So being at maintenance is just the best time, especially now. Let's all enjoy a box of quality streets with our family.
Or
can't wait.
Or enjoy a donut.
Jake, tell me. Take a bite. Rate it.
So it's not as hard. It's softened up because it's been in my fridge for the last 24 hours. So, and I think you said before that you bought it the day before anyway. So let's be honest. This is not a fair test. But we never agreed to this being a fair donut rating contest because I'm always going to be biased to my chocolate ring that we started on week 1 with.
What's your opinion, Jake?
I don't know. Typical. I'm pretty sure that my screen's frozen. Is it frozen on yours too?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has. And you got a mouthful of donut.
It will come back. So
I'll
describe.
What's your verdict?
Here we are. We're back.
So everyone, it's a Krispy Kreme strawberries and cream.
Where's my camera?
So
it's basically a jam donut with cream in there as well, and strawberry on top, and then some like strawberry sprinkle, dried strawberries maybe. I'll be honest. The first taste is a bit too sweet for me, but as it kind of sits in your mouth, I do quite like it. I'll be honest. If this was, I think this warmed up would be nice.
So for me, I rate it an 8. It's still not as good as the chocolate dream cake one we had, where the donut was full of chocolate, but it's still good. I'm saying that for me is an 8.
Okay, I'm going to give this a 5. And let me explain.
Hang on a minute.
Let me explain. I think my excitement is more that it's not a 2, because I genuinely thought this was going to be horrendous. So I think I'm more like, I'm very surprised, but I would never pick this donut. I still think that chocolate caramel-y one we did. Did we do a chocolate caramel one?
We did a salted caramel chocolate one on when we did the run.
That one was quite nice actually.
Yeah, you liked that one because you thought that was going to be filled, and that wasn't filled, and you were a bit buzzing about that.
This one, yeah, I give it 5. The more I'm getting into it, the more I'm struggling, and the actual consistency of the donut being hard, I actually quite like. So it might have even given it an extra point. So it's all right. It's okay.
While you're eating that, Jake, what is this week's random fact about Jake Allen?
So whilst we're on a jam donut, I'll tell something that's a bit kind of gross. Mentioned before that I've got a few injuries. So one time when I was younger, I'm not going to show it in like real close up, but this finger here, I don't know what that's called, my ring finger basically, I sat on a folding chair once and it just collapsed, and I put my hands down to break my fall, and the 2 wooden bits came straight through. So I basically, you probably won't ever notice, but I have a scar the whole way around my finger where
was your finger hanging off? Yeah,
so it was just the bone. And I was literally, it was like half an hour drive to the hospital. But I think I screamed the whole way to the hospital. But like my hand was caught in the chair, and like to get it out, someone was trying to pull it, and I think they were pulling the wrong way. And I was like, stop. So yeah, I barely have any feeling in that finger, in the top half of that finger now. It's not really a fun fact, but it's just a gory fact.
Random. We never. Yeah. It's a random.
We're not that far off. It was Halloween not that long ago, about a month ago, so should have done it then. But oh well.
My random fact this week is I had my best viewed TikTok this week. So, guys, over this lockdown, last lockdown, at the end of last lockdown, I tried to start using TikTok. It didn't really work. I did about 2, and I got like no views on them.
Like 100.
Something like that. The last 10 days, right, I've been getting into the swing of this TikTok thing. Best one I made yesterday, I've nearly got 10,000 views on it. Woo! And I was, so buzzing.
When you do your hashtags, you do grannies of Instagram.
That needs to be my
because you're nearly old enough to, like, in TikTok world, it is, if you're over 25. So onto
the subject of grannies. Onto the subject of grannies, I tried to. You should have seen me last night, guys. I tried to learn how to shuffle in the kitchen. Hayley can't shuffle, but I was looking through TikTok. You know, where there's like the ones where it shows you like a slowed down version of how to shuffle. Grannies could do it. There was about this 70-year-old woman shuffling. I was like, right, if this granny can do it, I can do it. Nope. No, I look like I'm. Don't mean to
having
be
a seizure.
Rude. Yeah. Can't do it. I was laughing so much at myself. I nearly weed myself because honestly, I'm terrible. I hope to get it one day, but I very much doubt it. But well, maybe. So nearly 10,000 views on my TikTok this week, guys. That's my random fact.
That's not too bad. What was I going to say? I was just thinking of this is something we've been planning for ages. Whilst we're talking about social life, is a social night out. Me, you, some of the other people from the gym. I just realised that we were going to go out maybe this weekend or something for a drink. I think it was next weekend, because we were like, lockdown's going to be over. We can go out for a drink. We still can't go out for a drink, by the way, unless we order a substantial meal with every drink. So we could go out for some food. So we can. Let's still go out.
We could. Yeah. We can go out for. We can have a Christmas meal and some drinks. But I know.
So let's be honest.
I am. So this year has gone so quick, right?
Yeah.
The other night, I could not believe, like, I've been working at the gym a year and we've still not been out.
I know, mad. I've been out, but just not. We've just not gone out. I'm
flabbergasted about this.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, to be fair, I've been at the gym for more than a year, and I've only ever been out once. And it was, I think I've only ever been out once with anyone, and it was a Christmas meal, but no one drank. It was just me and Debs having a drink. So it was basically like me and Debs went out, but no one else did.
What we could do is we could go out for. No, we can't go out.
No more drinking without food. But guys,
yeah, but you're still not, important thing is here. You have to go out with your household.
Oh damn it! Well, okay. Look, this is let's bring this back to the podcast, because if you're not allowed to go out, then you can spend your money and calories elsewhere. So there's less temptation, and you can use this time to really enjoy the food, because if you can't go out for drinks every weekend, especially around Christmas, unless they relax the rules further, you're going to have a few extra calories for Christmas anyway. So
100%.
It's good.
So yeah, let's to wrap up this podcast. Social life is important. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in a fat loss phase, you need to have a good balance. So probably reduce the amount of times you go out. So maybe like have one night out a month. And number 3, enjoy Christmas. Have some mince pies, have some chocolate, but train hard, enjoy your training. And yeah, that's it. Episode 4, social life and alcohol, wrapped up.
Yeah, I think one thing to just add there is like, although we like to think we're miracle workers, we're not. Like when we're working with our clients, when it's a fat loss phase, there does have to be some give and take. Like you can't all like, we always promote like balance, but like don't kid yourself by saying, oh, my balance, I just go out once a week. But like, come on, like find some real balance, still have fun, but still work hard to hit your goals. Because the only one thing I do notice is like, sometimes if I mention balance too much, people can start to take the piss a little bit and take it a little bit too far. But still like have fun.
Yeah, like my 3 things is health, fitness, and happiness, and I always promote how these 3 things are important. But this is like, as you just said, like this does not mean that you can like go out every weekend and still be healthy and the fittest. You can't. Like if you're in a fat loss phase, you do have to sacrifice a few things. Yeah, don't take the mickey. But yeah, you can enjoy that one night out a week. That's perfect.
100%.
That's 100%. Enough.
But the one thing now I'm looking forward to is the gym's reopening. I think before the gym's reopened, I know I was, and I know that you felt the same. We were making good progress in the gym and smashing our own goals and smashing our workouts. So I'm very much looking forward to getting back to a bulk, putting on a bit of muscle over the next 6 months is what I'm going to look to do. And yeah, just enjoying lifting weights for a consistent amount of time, because it looks like...
I cannot wait to get back.
Exactly. It looks like even in this tiered system, the government are going to keep gyms open now. So fingers crossed it remains. But yeah, everyone enjoy the gyms. And if you're not in a gym, join. Perfect time to join. And if you don't know what you're doing, get a PT. They can show you. Doesn't matter if it's me, Hayley, or someone else in your local gym. Just, I think, if you don't know what you're doing, just get someone to make you feel confident. And
100%, 100%. Like, it's the best way. But go check us out on Instagram, guys. At Hayley Rich PT, at Jake Allen PT. Check us out. Get following. Send us a message if you've got any questions. And thanks for listening, guys.
See you guys next week.
See ya.